Today on 2K TV postseason.
Our defense will be a little too much for them.
I'm just ready.
Io non dormo quando ti penso, io non dormo.
And this is where it's at, folks. The college tournament ends here tonight. For one team, the joy of a lifetime will be achieved. And there's no doubt going to be some incredible action all along the way. This is Kevin Harlan, joined by my colleagues Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony.
An opportunity for the title. I mean, this game might very well be the defining moment for the lives of every one of these young men.
Both these teams have gone through so much adversity just to make it here. All tournament long, it's been survive and advance. But now, this is the part where you put all your chips on the table and just lay it on the line.
Let's check out Wisconsin's starting lineup. We've got Kaminsky. Hawkins is out there with Hill. Then it's Decker, and it's Evans in at the power forward.
Guys, it's almost impossible to think about Michigan basketball and not think of the Fab Five. I mean, one of the most storied recruiting classes ever. They were dominant in their tenure here at Michigan.
And thinking back to the Fab Five, there were 5 freshmen, all brought in the same year, and they all started.
Yeah. Chris Webber, Juwan Howard, Jalen Rose were the most successful pros, all of them playing professionally at some level. It's still considered one of the greatest freshman classes, if not the greatest of all time.
And with any championship game, you know that every player is going to have their heart racing for the first few minutes. That's just natural. That's adrenaline. They'll need to remain calm, though, and let the game come to them and kind of ease into it.
And one guy, guys, I'll keep an eye on in this one is Freak. He is the consummate leader for his team. He can come out strong and play his game while keeping his intensity level up. It'll be just what they need to claim the title.
There's the screen. Hill against Nelson. The dish to Kaminsky. And it falls over the rim and in.
You can't afford to get him that kind of a look.
Well, you know, he came off a good screen, but still, as a defender, you've got to do a better job of fighting over and through that.
And Nelson gets it to go.
How in the world did they let him get that wide open? You know, one of the big questions on everybody's mind in this game is whether or not Freak will stay on for another year or go pro. I mean, usually a player with his upside would be a lock to be a one and done, but he's giving serious thought to staying.
And Freak is a guy who clearly values the scholastic aspect of collegiate sports. So it makes sense for him to think about staying beyond this season. Still, with Freak's draft stock rising, this could be his final game as a collegiate player.
He feeds it to Smith. Hill against Nelson. And good on the basket. Look it. Nelson's got 8 points.
And that's a great play on the backboard for him. I mean, it's what we expect. All his second chance points do not come by accident.
Hill kicks to Hawkins. Passes it to Wade. Hawkins with it. Back to Wade. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
Oh, that is just weak defense there. I'm pretty sure that was not the plan to give him those kind of baskets at the hoop.
Nelson against Hill. Pass to Taylor. The basket good off the assist from Nelson.
And not many people know this, but the Badgers do have one college title in their trophy case. Won the tournament back in 1941. A different time back then, but a title nevertheless.
And Wisconsin looking at who they've got. We've got Hawkins. He's out there with Hill. And it's Wade in at center. Here's the Badgers with the ball, trailing by 2. Hawkins kicks to Wade. Off target from outside. And for that 1941 title you mentioned, Greg, for the Badgers, it was actually their first invitation to the College Tournament Club.
How about that for a first impression?
Yeah, not bad.
Not too bad at all. Prior to their recent run of success, that was their lone bright spot as a program.
And as we see Freak and his team go for the title here, he is trying to repeat what he did just a year ago. He was able to lead his high school to the PSAL championship.
Well, Greg, he was a 4-time All-American selection in high school and a unanimous one at that. He's won state titles before, but this is a different animal.
And the big game is just about ready to get going for our second half of play. What a championship atmosphere we've got here tonight. We are just one half of basketball away from seeing college basketball history being made.
And in a championship game like this one, guys, you would have expected a close battle. I don't think either side is going to be able to run away and hide in this one.
And, Greg, tight games like this are where legends are born. I mean, if a player like Freak can come up huge in this final half of play, he'll anchor himself in school history as one of the greats to ever play the game.
Nelson, he's in at shooting guard. Jones is out there with Ellis. And there's Flash. And it's Smith in at the pivot, manning the middle. And for the Badgers, they've got Hill. He's out there with Hawkins. Kaminsky out there with Decker. And it's Evans in at the 4. Hill. That one a little long.
And you look at the long list of former players from the University of Michigan. A lot of big-name NBA players got their start as Wolverines. It's been that way for a long time. And what a journey it has been, really, for this whole team to make it to the college championship, especially for Freak. A few bumps in the road for him, but what a story.
Greg, you get the feeling that it's only the beginning. I mean, the way he plays and the accolades he has, I mean, you can see him having a long and productive career at the pro level.
Greg, you mentioned moments ago all the former Wolverines that have made it to the NBA. Michigan has been one of the best talent developing schools, Clark, for a long time.
And, you know, apart from the Fab Five group, Kevin, the Wolverines can also name Glenn Rice as an alum, outstanding NBAer, and Trey Burke and Nick Stauskas, recent grads from Ann Arbor.
Kaminsky dishes to Hill. Pass to Hawkins. Baseline jumper. And it's wide right. It's off the rim. The Wolverines leading by 5. Wide open. Good. The assist goes to Hill. Hawkins has got his first 2 points of the night. And Michigan has possession. They've only allowed 2 points so far here in the second half. And they call an illegal screen here.
And the idea of setting a screen on that play was right, but just poor execution.
Yeah, it just can't be a hard screen at all costs. There is a legality to how you set a screen, so you got to be inside of both lines, legal and hard.
Catching up on the changes for Michigan, Taylor's checked in for Smith. Cunningham comes in for Ellis. Jefferson's checked in for Jones. And Knight subbed in for Flash.
Well, he knew how many inches he had over the guy. I mean, let's face it, good decision to just rise up and take the jump shot.
This game's still very much up in the air. I mean, this is where you start to separate the men from the boys and where heroes are born.
And one team looking to ice the win, the other hoping to force OT. I think right now you lean on your stars